Well, I think most of the adults were really very cautious, up in arms, had no clue what to think about. I mean, they had heard about the hippies up in San Francisco and were very, very fearful.
The whole town was overrun by these crazy hippie freaks from San Francisco, and we'd never seen anything like it. We were very innocent, sheltered in this idyllic place in Monterey.
People in town were locking up their daughters and were ready for insurrection.
The leadership of this community was quite nervous, and there were elements in the community that really did not want this to happen.
But when it actually happened, it was really beautiful. It was very peaceful. It truly was peace, love, and flowers.
The first night of the festival, very heavy attendance by police. The second night of the festival, there was a cannery fire. And in those days, when a cannery burned on Cannery Row, it was a big deal because they were old wooden buildings and they were usually filled with old packing material, or there was one old, the Hovedon Cannery used to be filled with labels, 20 feet high, old sardine labels. When this cannery went up, it was all hands on deck for the police department, and they abandoned pretty much the pop festival and all went to Cannery Row to fight the fire, and nobody noticed at the pop festival. There were no problems. Everybody behaved themselves.
I remember how crowded it was, but how quiet it was at the same time. It was bizarre. It was like everybody was very mellow, people had smiles on their faces. It was not a threatening environment at all, even though, you know, we were sort of like three young girls running around.
In 1966, they made me a motorcycle cop, and I was in hog heaven, getting paid to ride a Harley in Monterey. But in 1967, is that when the Pop Festival came? Back in those days, we were not called police officers, we were called pigs. Remember that? And all the people going to the Pop Festival were flower children. Well, my job was to patrol Fairgrounds Road to make sure that traffic was flowing and stuff. And about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this man was so drunk, he kept falling down and falling down, so I arrested him for his own safety. I called a patrol car and then took him to jail. In the meantime, waiting for the patrol car, all the flower children wanted to, you know, call me a pig and take him away. The patrol car came and took him away, and I said, you know, this is not gonna work. There's a flower shop on Fremont and Alcalde. I went over there and got some flowers, put flowers on my uniform and my motorcycle. It changed the whole mood. But my sergeant, officer, you're out of uniform. Okay. Well, the next day, every police officer on that beat was wearing flowers. It changed the whole image. The flower children came out to welcome us when they want to sit on my motorcycle and shake hands. Wow, it was quite a story. Yeah, quite a story. I went from pig to flower child.
If you remember your Eric Burden and the Animals was down in Monterey, even the cops grooved with us, so that it was very peaceful.